Hemp Wizard products are proudly used by former New England Patriots linebacker Brandon Spikes, Suicide Silence guitarist Mark Haleman, Canadian actor Jackson Rowe, Mr. Grimm and Noctis the drummers of Walking Corpse Syndrome, guitarist and vocalist Bub Heaston and bassist Ted Wilson of Black Sasquatch, guitarist and vocalist Adam Hines of Fester, Aaron Witzel, guitarist of Cropsy Maniac, Roy Boy, host of the Licking County Metalheads podcast, Crash Fistfight and Maxine Maxwell, host of the Musicians Hangout podcast, Jeff Towlinski, host of the Hard Rockin' Sports Show. You too can give your beard the magic touch and treat your skin. The Hemp Wizard signature series artists are Walking Corpse Syndrome, So High, Black Sasquatch, Fester, You can give your beard the magic.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
I am a real American, fight for the rights of every man. I am a real American, fight for what's right, fight for your life. When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside, you gotta take a stand, you don't have to hide. If you hurt my friends, then you hurt my pride. I gotta be a man, I can't let it slide. I am a real American, fight for the rights of every man. I am a real American, fight for what's right, fight for your life. I feel strong about right and wrong. And I don't take trouble for very long. I got something deep inside of me. Courage is the thing that keeps us free. I am a real American, fight for the rights of every man. I am a real American, fight for what's right, fight for your life. I am a real American, fight for the rights of every man. I am a real American.
And that's my cue to start the show. Welcome to another live edition of the Hard Rocket Sports Show, live from high atop Hard Rocket Sports Studios in beautiful St. Bernard, New Jersey. We are your 3-hour weekly get-together. We bring you all the biggest news from around the worlds of hard rock, heavy metal, of course, the wide world of sports. And guys, welcome to Thursday night, May. That's right. It's already May the 12th. No, May the 11th. Excuse me. May the 11th in the year of our good Lord, 2023. And guys, I hope you've had a great week. It's been an interesting one for me. I can't go into too many details on the air. That's not what we do. But it's been a pretty good week for me. I can't really complain. Lots of good stuff happening here in the Florio household. And it's going to be a great weekend. I want to, right off the bat, wish all the moms out there a happy Mother's Day, including my mom, my wife, and all the moms in my family, and amongst my friends, Jeff's lovely wife, Sharon, and, of course, all the moms in our lives. Please have a great Sunday, and I look forward to hearing about what everybody got to do on Mother's Day. So I hope you guys are spending it with your mom. If you're not, I hope you're trying to spend it with the moms in your life. Anyway, guys, it's been a good week, and it was a beautiful day. We finally get a little bit of spring before the summer's going to pop up on us any day now, because 1 minute it's going to be in the 60s and 70s, and the next minute it'll be in the 90s. There never seems to be an in-between anymore. Lots going on here in the Hard Rocket Sports Show world, and we got a lot to talk about tonight. We got the NFL schedule comes out tonight, 8 o'clock, but there's been some, dropping of the breadcrumbs, so we know some of the big games. The Jets are getting to play in a historic game, one that's never been played before in the NFL. So we'll get to talk about that. And primetime games for both New York teams and what that means and what it might mean for both teams. We'll talk a little about the Knicks series. They're down 3-2, heading back to Miami for Game 6 off of a pretty good win last night. Maybe we'll talk a little about that. We'll talk Yankees, Mets. I want to talk about Paul Stanley and the controversy that's caused. Paul Stanley's comments have caused the cancellation of one show by Ted Nugent in Alabama and an appearance by Dee Snider. And I'll get to that a little later in the show. We'll talk a little Pantera. Let's see what else is on there. Cam Newton, the Giants, Jets, a $29 hot dog. We'll talk about hot dogs and all that good stuff. Vita Blue, Aaron Rodgers, JFK. That's right. We're going to talk a little bit of politics tonight, folks. RFK, JFK, RFK Jr., that is. Randy Rosarina. And we might even have appearance from the great beyond tonight. Well, all that. Hey, what's up there, Adam? But let's get the show started. The only way I know how to do it is by bringing on my man, my buddy, the sexiest man on his side of the screen, Mr. Jeff Hefe Talwinski. What's up, brother?
Not much, man. Sitting here live in Aarontown.
Aarontown, is that really what you're going with? Aarontown, Aarontown, really? That is Aarontown. We're a long way from Aarontown right now, my friend.
We are in the midst of Aarontown.
I'll agree with you that, and I won't get to the NFL schedule yet, but I'll touch on this. The Jets went from let's not get them anywhere near prime time to what I'm reading is there's a possibility the Jets could be on 6 prime time games this year. And one of them is an historic game, which we'll get to during the schedule segment. But Jeff, I mean, do you think that's a little much? One player coming to a team that's been habitually under 500, and now all of a sudden, it's a little bit of a gamble that the Jets could be the same old Jets and 5-6 game, 3 wins at that point.
Excuse me, Mr. Non-Believer. What was that?
I'm just being honest, my friend. I'm just being honest.
With
the Giants. Listen, same conversation with the Giants.
If you were being honest with yourself,
you'd
be wearing a fucking Aaron Rodgers jersey, not that jersey, whatever that is.
This is my Rob Carpenter Houston Oilers jersey.
Isn't it true Rob Carpenter had like 200 yards in his career?
That is not true. That is absolutely not true.
Three receptions for 4 yards.
Rob Carpenter happened to be a fantastic football player.
What was his career stats?
I have to look it up for you. I think his best rushing year, I think it was with the Giants. He rushed for almost 900 yards in like 10 or 11 games.
Almost 900 yards. That's disgusting.
In 9 or 10 games for the Giants. I'll look it up for you. You want to actually know? I'll look it up for you.
Yeah.
He was my favorite football player of all time. Let's see. So I'm typing one-handed tonight, folks. Okay. Football Reference, Rob Carpenter. Let's see. So he played in 118 games.
Okay.
He had 1,100 carries, 1,172 to be exact.
Okay.
Rushed for 4,300 yards. He had an average of 3.7 yards a carry, and he had 29 TDs in his career.
This guy was a killer.
I would tell you. So I'll give you his best years. So his first 4 years, he was basically a fullback, blocking fullback. He rushed for 650 yards his rookie year, 348, 355, 359. Went to the Giants in 1980. So in 1980, he split time between both. No. That would be 9. Well, let me see that now. Looks like 80. No. So 1980, 15 games. 1981 was his first year with the Giants. He played a combined 14 games and rushed for 822 yards in 14 games.
That's really not
After
bad.
that, it was 748. He got hurt in another year. He had 74. And then with the Giants, again, 204, 624. 1984, he rushed for 795 yards. And then basically that was it. 201 with the Giants before he got traded. So
Yeah, he didn't have a very long career, that I know.
well, again, not terrible. I mean, not great. I mean, the average is pretty good. 29 TDs over his career is not terrible. I mean, that would probably be a couple years for some players, but let's see what was his receiving yards, Jeff.
Got to agree with Frank Catalano on this one. And this is look what he wrote, and this is coming from Broncos fan.
Frank, this is my absolute, and this, by the way, this jersey was handmade by my wife because you couldn't find this jersey anywhere, and my wife actually made this jersey.
How did she make it?
She sews. My wife.
No. But I mean, where did she get that color material? What did you buy?
I don't. I have no idea. This jersey is about 8 years old, and up until a month ago, it did not fit me. I could not wear it. It was too big. It was too
Stand
small.
up. Let's see what the back looks like. So if she wasn't able to get the jersey, how did she match that color fabric?
Well, she went online. She found a sample of it, the jersey online, and then she had to go to different websites and find the place that sold this type of jersey, and then find one that matched the colors from the Houston Oilers and the whole bit. Yeah.
So
There's a couple of things that are like not exactly perfect, but close enough.
Nobody's going to know because half the people that watch football today don't even know about the fucking Houston Oilers.
It's very possible. 100%. Again, this was Rob Cobb was my favorite player. She's supposed to make me a Rob Carpenter Giant one, but that's been a lot. Frankie, I'll ask her if so every once in a while she gets the burst, and she would do it for the try. So I'll ask her if she's got any interest in making you a Tony Dorsett Broncos jersey. So I'll ask. I don't know what the answer is going to be, but I'll ask. So, but Frank, it's good to have you back.
I don't understand how through NFL.com you can't get that jersey. That's pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah. No, you can't. I mean, I'm sure you can get something close. You can, there's ways to do it. Like you can go, if you go to the NFL. See, the problem with the NFL is if you go to like Fanatics or NFL, you can design your own jersey, but it's very hard to go back and get the exact teams from 1977 jerseys. You can get a current one and put whatever name you want on it and all that stuff. But and I'm sure you can get the ones from China as well, but I won't buy those. So anyway,
the NFL and the players or whoever, the Players Association or union, or they don't have these names trademarked that, like, in order to get, all right, there may be other people in the world with the name Carpenter.
Correct.
Maybe even people named Dorsett, but there are names like, say you wanted a Mark Gastineau jersey or Roger Staubach jersey. You know what I mean? And you got it team correct, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if you were trying to sell them, I would say the answer is they may come after you. I don't know the rules on it.
Just
but if you're making it up for yourself, I can't imagine anybody would be bothered with it.
How do you know what the person's intent is with it? But I mean, it would be kind of hard to get one of these jerseys, I would think, if you can't get a Rob Carpenter jersey.
Yeah, I mean, again, if my wife was posting this on eBay or someplace, and somebody saw that she was selling this as a Rob Carpenter jersey, NFL approved. I don't know. I honestly, truly don't know the answer to that. But I just, like I said, he's my favorite player. I always wanted to get a Rob Carpenter Oilers jersey. My wife couldn't find it, so she went out and made it. But it's about 8 years old. It's been hanging in a closet or in a desk drawer. The only time it's been out is when we did the TV show. You had the Gatineau jersey hanging, and I had this one hanging.
Wow, I don't remember that. But
Yes, that's was the backdrop behind this, was the two jerseys and a bunch of pictures. So anyway, I decided tonight was a chance to break out my Rob Carpenter jersey and have some fun. So anyway, Jeff, we got a lot to talk about, but we always start the show the same way. Jeff, how was your week?
a long week.
Yeah, another week of overtime, or another week a long week in a different way.
Yeah, just every week is a long week in a different way. There, that shithole.
Understood.
And then me, I look to work overtime to stay more, so I could be there more. Can't really figure that one out, but okay.
No, they never said we were smart.
No.
We got a lot to talk about tonight with the NFL schedule. We got a little politics we're going to throw into the mix tonight. We're going to talk about $29 hot dogs, Jeff. $29 for a hot dog somewhere. We'll talk about all of that. Lots of good stuff there. Mets, Yankees. We got NFL schedule. We got historic games. We got Pantera. We got Cam Newton. We got Paul Stanley. We got a lot to talk about tonight. But before we do that, what's coming up? When's the next Ramorons gig? How was the Harley Davidson gig?
It was good. Nothing coming down the pike with them right now. I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? But next is 25 Missions in June.
Okay.
Food truck festival.
Is that the food truck festival, right?
Yeah, I believe that's June 11th. I think there might be something June 3rd too. I don't know. For Ramorons, I'm not sure. Not Ramorons, 25 Missions.
Yeah.
I'll keep you updated.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get this out there, Adam, so everybody can see it. But it says, this isn't about Jeff, by the way. What a wiener. And it's a $29 hot dog. I will tell you all about it. Hold on. Well, here comes the $29 hot dog. But we'll get to that in a little bit. I want to get my dad on. He's had some technical issues the last few weeks. So we got a chance. Let's get him on before the computer has a problem. And I want to come back after that. We'll talk a little bit of maybe a little politics. We'll talk a lot of football tonight. Again, I want to get the Paul Stanley thing because that ties it to a little bit of politics, a little bit of sports, and a lot of craziness. What's up there, Mr. Rafika? Again, the NFL schedule comes out at 8 o'clock tonight, so we'll touch on a little bit tonight. We're going to end the show about 9 tonight. I got a very, very early start in my day tomorrow, so we'll get to the show till about 9. And again, we'll be back next week, but we'll be off on the 25th. The show will be on hiatus for the Memorial Day weekend, and but we'll be back for the month of June. And before you know, folks, we'll be talking football as always. But stick around, got a lot to get to as Jeff and I do this up all night. So if you guys got anything you want to throw out there, by the way, put it up there on the screen. Love to get it on, but let's get my pops on and see what he's got to say, Jeff.
Go ahead, man.
What's up, Pop?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
How you doing, Mr. Foyle?
I'm
Terrific,
good,
Dad.
Jeff.
What's happening? At least
Good to
we got
see
your
you.
computer up and running. You're looking good.
I'm afraid to do anything. It's like we
Don't
go
worry about it. You're
booyah.
good. You're good, Pops. Don't worry. You're good.
I watching the basketball,
Okay.
and I got to tell you, it's got to be I don't care who we're playing, who you're seeing, Boston, Philly. It's the worst basketball I think I've ever seen in my life. The what do you call the Knicks? Do they know how to rebound? Offensive rebound.
I would have told you, Pops, that a couple of weeks ago. I mean, they were dominating the boards in the Cleveland series. I mean, they were all over it. They were playing extremely well. For some reason, in this series, you can have 3 Knicks and one Miami Heat player, and the Heat player's coming down with the ball, or the Knicks are dropping it. They look terrible, but a big win last night for that team, and they have the chance to come back, go down to Miami, win another game, and bring it back to MSG for Game 7. So I agree with you. The fundamentals of the game stink for both.
Not
teams.
even the fundamentals of it. I mean, everybody walks. I mean, I sit there and count 3, 4, 5 steps. I have never seen a walk called.
Yeah, you're never going to.
Up and down.
No.
Guys going up and down with the ball. It's
Looks
actually like
a running back.
right.
A
It's like
running back breaking through the line.
It's terrible. I mean, I remember. I hate to keep saying. I remember when I thought Dave Cowens.
Uh-huh.
When you had the Busher.
Uh-huh.
When you had these guys, that's all they were. They were big forwards. You would shoot the basket. They would go to the board and go for the rebound.
Mhm.
Today, they don't do it.
I agree.
It's. I say to myself, maybe it's me. You can't accept the fact that basketball's changed now. I mean, I've seen guys going in there and open shots in the paint section,
Uh-huh.
and they actually step back because they want the 3-pointers. No
Yes.
more 2
Oh,
pointers.
no, yeah, absolutely. That's out. The days of guys going to the basket and everything's a 3-pointer now. I mean, I don't know,
Man.
Jeff, if you watch any basketball. I don't watch a ton. I watch mostly Knick games or all Knick games, but it's really is kind of ridiculous the way the game's played today. But that's
Dude, it's all about the fanfare of the game and
Thank
once
you.
again the offensive aspect of the game. Nobody wants to watch a defensive game in
No.
any sport. It's not fun.
yeah. No, but even and a slow paced basketball game of right now it's hard to watch. I'm a Knick fan. I'm rooting for them. But it's even the Knicks it's just unwatchable sometimes. But again, I root for them. I'd love to see
And
them
I
win
get into the
championship.
thing where they start talking. This guy Butler, what's his name? Butler.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler. This guy sucks during the year, and he only does good in the playoffs, and he's the greatest shooter of all time.
Yeah,
What?
I don't know.
Wait.
Listen, I get it. I get it. Yeah.
Well, either you don't know basketball, they're saying he's the good. I mean, I'm saying to myself, gee, I remember Jerry West. I mean, we consider Oscar Robertson.
Yep.
They play both ways. This guy, it's only in the playoffs. Like, don't bother me during the year. Well,
Yeah, well, that's unfortunately that's where it is. I mean, at this point,
it's a shame.
yeah, it is, but that's how it's played, and that's how they do it. And unfortunately, we're stuck with it. But
Let
unfortunately,
me ask you a question. What happened with the Mets? And not that it's any better with the
ahead.
Yankees.
Oh, it's a little bit.
40-year-old men, this is what happens.
Yeah.
You spend
Yeah,
40,
Yeah, well, that's the gamble. So the gamble is, if they pitch well, you look great, and you pay a couple of guys that kind of money, and Scherzer's going to be out now. He's got an issue, and Verlander's hasn't been right yet, and the team's under 500 now. Can they turn it around? Absolutely, but I think the Mets' bigger problem is that they can't score runs, and that was the problem they had last year.
that's what the Yankees do.
Well, the Yankees will be fine. I mean, listen, they got half the team hurt, but the Yankees will win games and they'll score runs this summer. They'll get to the playoffs and they'll run into the same problem they had last year because they haven't changed the team.
The problem with the Yankees is simply that the Tampa Bay Rays got off to a tremendous start
Yes.
Sure.
and put that whole division in a hole. The Yankees are in any other division, they're in first or second place
Yeah.
Right.
And
throughout baseball.
look at
Yeah,
last
you're
year.
right.
The Yankees got off to a great start. They were so far ahead of everybody. And then all of a sudden, second half of the season, they tanked it and they barely hung on to make for the playoffs. And then even when they made the playoffs, they were out, with Houston again. So Jeff, to your point, you're right. Any other division, the Yankees are either in first place or right there for second place, and they're cruising along. But because of Tampa's hot start, I'm not worried. But the Yankees are going to make the playoffs. The Yankees will be fine. They'll do their. The Mets, on the other hand, they can't hit. That Frank Catalano's got it right. They just can't hit.
I don't understand something. The Tampa Bay Devil Rays seem to have been a thorn in the Yankee side for years now.
Oh, still are, yeah.
They just don't seem to take into consideration or do anything to counter what they're facing in their own division. To be successful, you gotta do good in your own division.
Well, listen, the American League East is tough. You're right. Yeah.
But yeah, but if you know that this team has been a pretty decent team for the last 7 to 10 years, it seems.
Yeah.
You're not doing anything to counteract them.
Hey, here's the thing with that. You can't. Nobody's going to explain to me how well that team is, and it's simply this: they have an endless supply of guys coming up out of the minors who fit their system, and they play well enough. They don't win the World Series every year, but they're a thorn in the Yankee side. They're probably the second best team in that division for the last decade. And every year they give the Yankees fits. Yeah, years ago the Yankees would steamroll them and all of that stuff. But this team is one of those teams that they're going to be around every year. They're not going to win the World Series every year, but they don't spend the money that anybody else does. And whoever's doing their scouting, whoever's doing taking care of their minor league system, they deserve a medal because that team is competitive every single year. No other way to say it. No other way to say it. So, yeah, they're going to be a hard team to beat this year. But, we're starting a 4-game series with them now. And they're cooling off a little bit, but they're still off to a great start, Jeff.
No, of course.
All right, I'm going to let you guys go. I know you got a lot going on. Jeff, I got to tell you, years ago we met Mark Gastineau in Manhattan.
Mhm.
He was big dude.
Yeah,
Big
he's a big
nice
boy.
guy. We always
Yeah,
thought that, we always heard he was one of these kumquat heads, idiot. But he was very nice.
That's just because he was nice doesn't mean he was an idiot. Wasn't an idiot. He's pretty
That's
much an idiot.
Well,
I think the way you did things, Jeff's pretty much right. Hey, Dad,
He wanted to
before I
live
forget,
with-
tell Mommy we made dinner reservations, but we couldn't get anything during the day. So we have to talk about what we're doing for Mother's Day dinner. But right now we have reservations at Feast at like 6:00 at night.
what day?
Sunday.
6 o'clock?
Yes.
That's Mother's
so
Day, right?
That's Mother's Day.
Because I
So
thought
just
you
tell
said,
Mommy if she doesn't want to do that, then maybe we could do something on Saturday.
no, I don't see
we
see
can
any
do
problem with that.
Yeah,
man.
I could not get reservations
No,
anywhere
that's
during
fine.
the
We appreciate it anyway.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you. I'll
talk to
relay it
Mommy.
to her,
Yeah.
and but I don't see
We'll
any
chat.
problem with it.
All right,
Right.
good. So
Jeff, to your mother, to everybody, your wife, happy Mother's Day to them. And Tommy, I'll see you over the weekend.
you got it,
Thank you.
Pops.
All
See
right,
you
talk
later.
to you later. Take care, guys.
All right, Dad. That's my dad. Checks in every week with us. It's nice to get his computer. I had to go do a little computer repair this week and get him back up and running, Jeff. So it's always nice to get my dad on the show with us. And you got any special plans for Mother's Day? I know you work on Sundays normally.
Work, and Sharon is going upstate
Oh, okay.
with her mother, and she'll be traveling home that day.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Well,
So she's
No,
is she
no-
taking
nothing.
away the credit cards and your phone so no more bases are being bought while she's away?
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see justifying buying another one this week.
this week. Hey, speaking of the Yankees and the Tampa Bay Rays, there was an incident in the game last week, and I got to put back. So, you know me, I'm a stickler for baseball etiquette, right? So there was an incident in the game where one of the Tampa Bay Rays hit a home run, and he was styling and profiling around the bases, and the next 2 times he came up, he got hit. And
Yeah,
the
well,
Tampa
the
Bay
why?
Rays, yeah. So I'm going to show you what happened, and then you can tell me whether you thought the Yankees overreacted or were justified in what they did. How's that?
Go right ahead, man. Let's see what you got.
Hold on, let's get this up on the screen, Jeff. All right, can you see it?
I can see it. I'm assuming this is after the home run.
This is just as the home run's being hit. So
Okay.
hang on, okay? There might be a couple of replays of this. So there is. So he stops at third base. Right, now watch. This is what he did at third base. So now the Yankees, there's a FU. Okay. Hold on. I think there's another one. Okay. And they're showing other home runs or other plays. Okay. Now, let's say if they show you the hits. First time they throw at him. All right. What tells it takes the base. That's the first time he got up after all of that. All right. And then basically it happens again. He's upset. He's pissed off about it. Let me ask you, Jeff, if you were the Yankees, right, and that happened.
Baseball's a game that has an unwritten rules that they play by. Is this the other play?
No, this is he got hurt trying to get out of a way of a ground ball in the infield.
Okay. Baseball has their own unwritten rules, and they kind of police themselves. So you do something silly, you got to expect something.
Well, let me ask you a question: Do you consider what he did silly as an old timer yourself? If you were the Yankees, let's put it this way: if you were playing for the Yankees and he did that maneuver, would you get pissed off about it, or would you be like, whatever?
You know what? In today's day and age, no, I don't think I would get too pissed off about it because he did it to his coach.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's one thing, and they did it to one another is actually a better way of putting it. And if my pitcher hit him, so be it. If my pitcher didn't hit him, so be it.
Okay.
Like, I wouldn't. If I was a manager, there would be very few situations where I would tell my pitcher, you know what to do, going out.
What would that situation be?
Well, if somebody throws at one of your guys, somebody takes a hard slide into second base, takes out your second baseman, maybe hits your catcher a little hard coming into home plate, a little unnecessary, anything like that. I mean, a little showboating, maybe you get your chance the next inning, and you tell your guys, like, you put it over the fence, take a pause at third base.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do the same thing. What's good for them is good for us. But like I said, something like that, Tom, unfortunately, the mindset of sports is a lot different than it was years ago.
I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you that it's different, and maybe some of the players don't have an issue with it. I'm only asking as guys like us. Me, to be honest with you, if my pitcher didn't put one in his ear hole on the next one, he'd be traded to the outskirts of Alaska, because to me that is listen. You can do whatever you want around the bases. You run. You put your head down. You run like you act like you've hit one. But to stop at third base and pose, I'm sorry, I got to go. I would put one in his ear hole.
If it was at the stadium, maybe I feel a little bit different about it. But he did it at his house.
That's true. That's absolutely.
You know what I mean? It is his house, his field. It's a little different. Like I said, to me, if my pitcher went out there and he hit him on purpose, that's great. If he didn't hit him on purpose, I don't think I'd have a problem with it. I understand your point of view from it, and I could agree with it to an extent, depending on what was done. Something like that, I think I would have told my guy, you know what? We've been hitting the ball heavy all night. If that was the case, and you do something good, take a bow at first base, whatever. Let them know that you're going to do something. We're going to do something. Okay. Because don't forget one thing too, Tom. You start hitting people with the ball, now they come after and retaliate your guys. And I understand if that happened, if a retaliation happened, then the umpires would have come out and start throwing people out. But you know what? Why put yourself in a bad way? This is a team that's first place in your division. You don't need to be. You're in last place in your division. 9 games out? You don't need to be doing silly things. You should be concentrating on beating them, not worrying about getting even with them.
No, I listen. I don't disagree with anything you say, but me as a player, and certainly as a manager, to me, I say act like you've been there. You hit the home run. Listen, you hit a home run and wins a game, and we're leaving the field, and you want to do something like that, I can see it. But during the middle of a game, it's close, and you want to styling and profiling and pose. I'm sorry. Next time you come up, you get one in the ear hole, and if you don't understand that, that's it. But listen, there's certain things people will agree to. I'm with Frankie.
Maybe
players are okay with it, probably.
Kick the rosin bag off the mound, kick a little dirt on the rubber. You know what I mean? Do something stupid like that. You know what I mean? Just to piss them off. Maybe dig out the batter's box a little last batter of the inning. You know what I mean? Sure. Something to annoy them a little bit. That's all.
All right. Well, that's fair. That's more than fair. Like I said, we wanted to bring it up, see if we get Jeff's perspective on it. I got it. Thank you.
Don't get me wrong. There are certain things that I feel as though that you have to do. You got to retaliate back at. Like I said,
right. Like if they draw your guy
close play at the plate,
right,
and these guys come down third base, they're losing 10-0, and they barrel over your catcher or something that they're not going to win, and
Yep.
that's something that needs to be addressed without a doubt.
No, you're right. Listen, there are unwritten rules in baseball. You don't bunt, up 10 runs. You don't barrel over the catcher when you're up big. You don't go in spikes up at second base. There's a lot of unwritten rules that you have to pay the price for. I think a lot of those unwritten rules are gone nowadays. I think the players, exactly right, Adam. There's an action and a reaction. So I think in the old days, it was a given. Today, I think there's so many players and managers who just have become wokeness or pussies or whatever you want to call them. And I think you get it's about the freedom of expression. And I'm sorry, you can express yourself. Don't show up the other team. And if you do, I'm fitting you for a new beanie.
I think that the players make so much money nowadays that
Correct.
That they don't want to start getting into that kind of pissing contest with each other.
No, Jeff, you couldn't be more right. I think there's a lot to be said for that, but I also think it takes away a lot of the game when those rivalries aren't there anymore. When you don't have a hatred for the other team, so to speak, just because of the colors they're wearing. I mean,
those rivalries, for the most part, are gone.
Oh, absolutely.
You would never get a pitcher or a player go from one team to another team if it was two hated teams. Look at Bill Belichick. He hates the Jets for 3,000 years.
Yep.
He'll never change. Just why you would never get a Yankee to go to the Red Sox, or a Red Sox become a Yankee player 40, 50 years ago. Would never have happened.
Very rarely, but yeah, sure, absolutely, and that was the heated rival, and you hated the Red Sox, no matter who they were and who was in the uniform. You hated them and grew up that way, and players were that way, and it's a different era. So you're right. There's a lot of that stuff has gone away, and baseball itself has kind of policed it out to say, we really don't want that kind of baseball. I think that's, I'm a traditionalist. I want the game to be played, and I don't care about the commissioner, suspending players or sending them for therapy. You do something wrong, deal with it on the field. And if that means, the guy took out your shortstop, next time you go into second base, you take out their shortstop, or put one in somebody's ear hole if that's what's needed. And it just doesn't happen enough today. So, but that's just baseball today. And again, we're Hard Rocket Sports. This is Jeff Tomlinski. I'm Tom Florio. We're here every Thursday night chatting sports, music, and we'll throw a little politics. We'll throw some wieners in on it, Jeff. We'll throw the wieners in.
I'm interested in a $29 hot dog. Like, what makes it $29? I don't understand that.
All right. Well, since you're asking, Jeff, I will bring up the infamous $29 wiener. So let me tell you about the $29 hot dog, Jeff. Let's see. I find how it's made. Okay, the thing's humongous too. It's at 8 ounces and 9 inches long. Okay. That's where it starts. It's sold at a place, New Mishka, at the Citicorp Center. Mishka's Mighty Mongrel is easily the city's top price tube steak. Jeff, this sounds a lot like we used to talk when we were kids. Just tube steak.
9-ounce wiener.
Yeah. Would you like a little of my 8-ounce, 9-inch wiener? That type of stuff. That stuff that we used to say. A couple of guys, I think, actually took it serious, but that's a whole different category. They have a 2,000. They have a tube steak. Aside from the occasional $2,000 stunts with truffles and foie gras, so they have a $2,000 tube steak that you can eat.
Tube steak, they're calling it.
Yes, yeah. But unlike, say,
I don't know who wrote, what publication was this in that they're even able to come up
the
with?
New York Post.
The New York Post. Wow.
Yes. Okay. So the thing's humongous, 8 ounce and 9 inches long. Think of it more as an elongated restaurant burger, one that can almost feed 2 people. You'll use a knife and fork and not feel silly. Made in-house, the dry-aged brisket and pork hybrid is tucked inside a chewy natural casing. Let's see. It's warmed in beef fat, browned on flat-top griddle, and placed in a potato bun. I love a good potato bun, Jeff. A good potato bun.
I'm not a hot dog guy, man.
You're not a hot dog guy? Oh, I love a good dog and
No,
a potato
because
bun.
when you really find out what goes into a
But
hot dog,
I don't want to know. I don't care.
lips,
It
ears,
tastes good.
assholes, eyelids.
I don't care. It don't matter.
No, thank you.
Crusted with an instant mashed potato flakes for texture. The buttery, mineral-rich flavor reminded me of something, a German-style sausage. But wait, there's more. The Fabulous Frank comes with a ramekin of, I don't know what ramekin of punchy, dry-aged brisket chili, tasty enough to spoon on its own, and 5 condiments on the side. Let's see. Unlike the hot dogs, the early start of the clever menu. So basically, that's it. It's a 9-inch long, 8-ounce hot dog that is on a potato bun and has mashed potato flakes for texture, and it goes alongside the tube steak and everything else.
What do they put fried onions alongside the tube steak to mimic pubic hair?
I did not see that on the thing, but I will mention it. And again, guys, it is written by a guy. It's the New York Post. I read it every day. It's probably the most legit newspaper in town. It's written by a guy by the name of Steve Kukoza, right? Is Steve Kukuzo? Yep.
Let me see the name. Let's see the name.
Yep, and it's from a real restaurant, and that's what it served. There's a little bit of chili in that big hot dog next to the tube steak. Jeff is a big fan of tube steaks, smothered in underwear.
Oh, please. I can't even bring myself to eat a hot dog on a regular basis, man. It's just, oh God.
Frank, you're 100% right. Skippies with a and get a yoo-hoo. That's the way to go. That's a good pullover on Highland Boulevard, Staten Island. You go to Skippies on the Boulevard. You get a couple of good dirty water dogs and a yoo-hoo. Them zeets, baby. Them zeets.
I don't even think she's in the same spot anymore.
I have no idea. I haven't been over
They
there. in
redid that
years.
spot. They
Oh,
redid
did they really?
that. Yeah, because of Hurricane Sandy. They redid that spot. I don't know if she still has her spots. I don't think so.
I have no idea. You know the place I'm talking about, right? Off of
Right across the street from Cafe Bella Vita.
correct, 100%.
They had that little grass area that she would be in the pulling.
Yep.
Yeah, I went to high school with her.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I remember her from high school.
Okay. Yeah, I would say, like I said, I'm a big hot dog guy.
She
love-
pre-flavors those dogs.
I think you should worry if she's flavoring the tube steak, Jeff. That's
Whatever gets her through the night, I guess.
Oh, by the way, I was asked to promote. I'm going to do a little promotion here. This Saturday night at Mother Pugs, I believe it is. Mother Pugs. There's it's called a Street Trash Scum City Raw Nerve big show at Mother Pugs this weekend. So if you get a chance Saturday night, 8:00, go down there and check out the bands and all that good stuff. I was asked to promote the show. 8:00, I believe, is to start. Actually, it's a Saturday at 7. Mother Pugs, JGB's first show. So if you guys get a chance, go down to see JGB, and at 7:00 at the Mother Pugs, the home to a lot of Hard Rocket Sports benefits. So by all means, let's salute. I don't know. I'm getting a phone call here, but whoever it is going to have to. I know who that is. Unfortunately, hold on a second. I got to take this. Hold on, guys. Sorry.
Well, that leaves me, and whatever. I guess we'll just wait for Tommy.
I'm back, and I apologize. I was confirming a dinner reservation. My wife and I have had some stuff to celebrate, and I made some dinner reservations at a brand new steakhouse around the corner, basically. So to pick up to get my confirm my reservation. So I apologize. Anyway, Frankie, the Jets record, boy. I didn't get a chance to see their full schedule. I do have. Damn it! I left everything up front. Shoot. Let me see. I can get the New York Jets schedule for this year.
Well, it's not officially out yet, is it?
Well, we know the teams and home and away. We don't know the dates. Although I do know one game, and let's go over it right now. So the Jets will be playing the first ever Black Friday game. No pro games ever been played on Black Friday. Jeff, you know what Black Friday is, right?
Yes.
Okay, so no other teams have ever played in this game. So the Jets will be the first, and they will play their longtime rival, the Miami Dolphins, on that day. Again, this is all due to the fact that, Jeff, I would imagine that Aaron Rodgers is now the Jet quarterback. Would you like to run through the Jet schedule?
Sure.
All right, so let's see. The Jet schedule, why are they doing it this way? Okay, so the Jets, week 1, open up, Jeff, at home on Monday, September 11th, to the Buffalo Bills.
They're definitely going to beat Buffalo. Buffalo's not the same team they were the last couple of years.
All right, I am trying to find the right. So it gives me week 1 and week 12. Where's the rest of the weeks in between?
They're opening up September 11th against the Bills.
That I got. I got that. I see their home. Okay, so the home opponents are the Bills, the Chiefs. Okay, so I can get. So do you want to
listen? It doesn't matter to me. Let's just go by the opponents and see.
Yeah, that's what I'm going. So okay, so I'll give you the home games first, and you can give me how many wins in the home games. Ready?
Yep.
Bills.
I think
home.
They'll win.
Okay. You got the Dolphins.
They'll split with the Dolphins at the very least. If not, I'll take it from the Dolphins.
So you giving them a win or a loss at home? Got to give me one or the other.
A home win. Because this year with the Dolphins, you never know what's going to happen with Tua.
Okay. Home against the Chiefs.
You know, they stand a chance against the Chiefs because the Chiefs don't have their number one receivers, Kadarius Toney. If that doesn't work out, I think a lot of teams are going to beat the Chiefs.
Be nice. Okay, so you're giving them a win?
No, I'm going to give them a loss on that one.
Okay, so far 2 wins. The next 3 games at home will be the Eagles.
I'm going to go with a loss against the Eagles.
Okay, the Chargers.
They're going to beat the Chargers.
And the Redskins.
They'll beat the Redskins.
Texans.
They'll beat the Texans.
The Falcons.
They'll beat the Falcons.
And the Patriots.
They're going to beat the Patriots this year.
Okay, so you got 6 wins at home.
2 losses, 3 losses, right?
Yep. Okay, now their away opponents.
Okay.
The Giants.
That's going to be a tough one, but I got to go Giants. I'm going to go Jets just because it's the Giants.
Gotcha. So you got 7. You got the Cowboys away.
That's another tough one, but I think they're going to take the Cowboys.
The Raiders.
I think they're going to beat the Raiders too. I can't see Jimmy G. I don't know when they're playing the Raiders, but if it's late in the season, I don't see Jimmy G being on the field.
I think Frank's about to talk about the one loss he thinks the Jets are going to have, and it's away at the Broncos.
I don't know. You know what? Broncos defense is tough, but Russell Wilson has to show that he's the Russell Wilson of old. If he's the Russell Wilson of old, I think that the Broncos stand a chance. If he plays like he did last year, I don't know. It could be the Jets.
The Browns?
They should be able to beat the Browns, but that could be a game if they overlook them.
Okay. Okay. So we'll give that a loss. So you got 10 wins right now. How about the away at the Dolphins?
I think they're going to sweep the Dolphins this year.
Okay, that's 11. The Patriots on the road and the Bills on the road.
I think they're going to sweep the Patriots this year. I really do.
And the Bills?
I think they'll split against the Bills.
Okay. So right now you have the Jets at about 12 wins for the year.
Listen, they had 7 wins last year with no decent quarterback play. They already have a better quarterback this year than they had last year. It's got to equate to 4 or 5 more wins. It has to.
Adam, that has got to be the strangest drink I have ever heard, Jeff. Did you read Adam's drink? He's having coffee with Captain Morgan with jalapeno powder and honey.
Dude, man, I don't even want to fucking think
That
about
has
it.
got to be. First, I'm not a coffee person, so you lose me
Yeah,
at coffee.
I'm not a Captain Morgan's person. I'm not a jalapeno powder person. I'm not a honey person.
Yeah, that's a tough. I'm trying to picture all that together. I've heard of coffee with a little anisette. You know, some people put a little other liquors in it. I get it. The jalapeno powder and honey. How do you come? I gotta know. How do you come about knowing to put jalapeno powder and honey in Captain Morgan and coffee, Jeff? That's
Are you doing the reverse Godzilla tomorrow?
sweet and heat with a kick. You ain't freaking kidding. Holy cow!
So
That'll
in
keep
other
up
words,
all night.
Sweet and heat, which means while he's shooting flames out of his ass,
Yeah.
holding his fucking head for a better part of the day until everything levels off.
Holy cow!
Has to be.
That's a tough one. But Jeff, let's get back to the football schedule. So, the Jets are getting they open it up on Monday night. That's a primetime game. There's the Friday. I'm going to call the Amazon game, which even though it's on Amazon Prime, it's free. Anybody can find it and watch the game on Amazon. That's a Black Friday game, so it's a standalone game.
Frank, I don't understand why all the hate for the Jets when the Broncos suck. I don't understand that. I really don't.
Get him, Frank. You get him. Don't give him an inch, Frank. Don't give him an inch.
Quarterback play is what hurt the Jets last year, not their defense.
Well, I still think it might hurt them this year, but that's a whole different
Now,
conversation.
what?
I still think the quarterback play could hurt them. Let me.
Well, it might.
Let's
It also may equate to a couple more wins.
All right. Let me do it this way. So Aaron Rodgers had a rough year last year, right? He didn't play great, correct?
No, he didn't.
Okay.
And Boyd, hold on before you go any further. I want to say that I was against the Aaron Rodgers trade when they were first proposing it. Okay, but now I have no choice but to embrace it, and I think that could be a good thing for a year or two, but nothing beyond that. But
no. So my point of it is, Aaron Rodgers played on a team last year with a spotty offensive line, very spotty, but one that's better than, at least on paper and today, better than the Jets' offensive line. Okay, it's better. Bakhtiari, a couple of those guys are much better than anything the Jets have right now. Now, that's not to say that the Jets can't morph into it. Vera Tucker, if he's healthy, is as good as anybody. I'll give it that. But at the very least, it's as good, but I think it's a step back from what he had last year. But okay, he could play. His biggest complaint was that he had no weapons on that team. Yet he had, and nobody's going to tell me that he didn't have a hand in both Lazard and Randall Cobb coming over to the Jets. Now, he does have Garrett Wilson. Corey Davis I'm reading is definitely going to be back next year. They got Mims. So
first of all, don't even count Denzel Mims, because the guy gets on the field for maybe 2 or 3 games a year, it seems. He catches about 7 passes a season. I don't know why they didn't let him go and why they didn't keep Elijah Moore. I
don't know, and but I don't know how much better. I don't know how much better his receiving core is, except for the fact that Garrett Wilson is better than anybody that they had. Christian Watkins came around at the end of the year, and he may be a star. I don't know, but Garrett Wilson is a star, unless So my problem is, this isn't Aaron Rodgers of 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, where I'd say he can carry this team on his back. The problem is,
no, I'm not saying. Listen, I ain't saying. Before you go any further, I'm not saying that he's going to be able to carry him. No way. And Frankie, 11-6. Think about what they did last year with Zach Wilson and Mike White. Just think about that. And Joe Flacco, 7 wins for a Jet team with Zach Wilson, quarterback for most of the year. Zach Wilson, not Russell Wilson, Zach Wilson. I say Aaron Rodgers can get them to 11-6. There's nothing wrong with an 11-6 record.
No, absolutely not. No, absolutely not.
Am I saying they're going to go to the Super Bowl? I can't say that. I can't say that at all. Would I like to see them go to the Super Bowl? Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Do I think they have a fighter's chance this year compared to previous seasons? Without a doubt. This is.
Well, yeah, I would agree. I mean, if you're if you're saying that the biggest nail, the biggest nail in their coffin has been the quarterback, then I would agree. But 2 wins against the Bills, that's a lot. Do I think they split with the
it's not.
Dolphins?
No,
Absolutely.
it's not because the Bills are definitely not the same team that they were.
I'm
They're
not disagreeing, but they still, to me, let's put it this way: if I'm going to that game, the best quarterback in that game is the guy playing for Buffalo.
maybe not.
No, there is no doubt in my mind that right now Josh Allen's a better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers. That's not to say he won't play better that day. I'll just say that at this moment, based on their skills, their age, and all that, Josh Allen's the better quarterback. There's no doubt in my mind. Now, against the Dolphins,
Maybe one-on-one and skills, yes. But overall team, I don't think that the Buffalo Bills are the team that everybody makes them out to be. They can't get over a certain hump. They're going to be the Philadelphia Eagles of the AFC.
I don't like them against the Eagles. I think the Eagles will give the Jets fits. But again, the rest of it, I kind of agree with you. I think they're better than the Chargers. I think they're better than the Redskins. I think they'll split with the Dolphins this year. The Chiefs, I don't think they'll beat. But again, on the road, beating the Cowboys, that's a tough game. The Raiders, I think they win. The Broncos, that's a tough game for both teams. The Browns, I'm not scared of. I think the Browns are overrated. I think the last 3 games on the road, Dolphins, Patriots, and Bills, are all division games. Whether it's, I don't know how they're going to shake out. I still don't think the Jets will beat the Dolphins. The Jets will beat the Patriots twice in a year. I think the Patriots will rebound this year. If
you know what, there's too much confusion that you hear coming out of New England.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah.
Is Belichick happy with Mac Jones? Is the team happy? He doesn't seem like he's been happy since Brady left. And I mean, listen, how much longer is Bill Belichick going to stay in the NFL?
Good question. He's 70-something years old now. 71.
Even if he wasn't 70-something years old, he hasn't done anything since Brady left. Is he trying to see? Was he trying to outlast Brady? Is he trying to finally, maybe get in the playoffs since Brady left? I don't know. We made the playoffs 1 year since Brady left, right?
You made the playoffs 1 year since Brady. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, just one.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, again, we're going to see. Again, I think the AFC East is strong. I think the Jets potentially. Here's the thing, and I think the one thing you're saying, and I agree with. I don't believe that Aaron Rodgers and the quarterback position will be the thing that drags that team down. He won't hurt them. I just don't know if he's enough to put them over the top, and take them to the next level. Now, again, if he plays well enough, sure. If you get Breece Hall back at some point and he's healthy and competitive, and
Breece Hall is not going to be the running back this year that he was last year.
Absolutely not. I agree with that. Yeah, she's a year away.
Maybe he may start to show signs of it near the end. But then again, from what I see, he's not walking with any braces. He's not walking with any canes or anything. He looks like he's, walking around unassisted. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know. But, we know that this injury takes time to heal. He's got to get confidence back in the injured leg. So there's a lot going on there, without a doubt.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, there's a lot, there's a lot to the Jets at this point. The defense should theoretically be better. Another year under that system, another year for Sauce Gardner, another year for Reed, another year for Quinnen Williams and Quincy Williams, or whatever the Williams brothers are. That should be another good year for that defense. So, that's great. I just don't know how great the offense is going to be. It's going to be good. I think with Aaron Rodgers, it's got to be better than it was last year. Again, can they keep him upright? I don't think this offensive line is better than the Packer offensive line. So that would be my biggest fear.
I don't know much about the Packer offensive line, but to answer Frankie's question, I that's about what I figured too, Frank. I'm not saying that the Jets are going to go
I would agree, Frankie.
15-2. I think 11 wins, 10, 11 wins, 12 tops 12. But I think 11. Yeah, I think you hitting it right on the head. To be honest with you,
It's not unfair because I think we would all agree.
no,
that
I think it's very
Jets-
fair.
The
I
Jets
think
quarterback this year probably cost them at least 2 or 3 wins. So that gets you into the 9-10 win range, and I don't think you're that far off from this. And again,
No,
let's
I
see.
think Aaron Rodgers on skill alone is going to get them a win or two. I really do.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt that. There's a game or two he's going to hoist them on the back. I mean, he's still a top 5, top 7 quarterback in this league.
How about this? Does Aaron Rodgers, right, if he plays a good game, let's say he plays, good all season,
Yep.
and the game against Cleveland is close, you don't think Aaron Rodgers being at the quarterback gets them the win in a situation?
I do. I think that's a big
Against
problem.
Washington, you don't think that Aaron Rodgers himself is capable of getting the win against teams like Cleveland and Washington?
I do. I think that's exactly where I think the question marks become the bigger games, the Eagles. I
agree, totally agree. That's going to take a team effort, without a doubt.
Yes. No, yeah.
The
so I
Dolphins,
think,
I don't know about the Dolphins. I think the Jets have always split pretty much. Matter of fact, the all-time record, the Dolphins only have one more win than the Jets. They're like 57, 56, and 1.
Mm-hmm.
They're a 500 series against each other.
Yep. Well, again, I think we're going to see it. I think it's going to be a fun year. I think, if you would have told me a month ago before this whole thing would happen that the Jets without Aaron Rodgers, how many primetime games they would have had, I would have told you maybe 1, 2.
Would anybody even want to see them prime time without
now?
Aaron?
Here's the thing for the NFL. If this experiment doesn't work, and Aaron Rodgers and the Jets are muddled in mediocrity, it's going to bite them in the ass at some point. Some of these games, Jets Commanders is not necessarily a big time game to me. And I
don't think you're going to get to see that one on. You know what? I can tell you right now, you're going to see Kansas City Jets live prime time.
Yep.
Philadelphia.
Yep, that's
Jets
a good one. Yep,
time.
absolutely. Yep.
I think you'll see one of the Dolphins games, depending on both
we
teams.
already know that that's a Black Friday game, so you already know that. Yep.
I think you'll see one of the Patriots games.
Yep.
Sunday
Okay.
night game.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You're not going to see Cleveland.
I'll give you a funny one. I think the game that
You might see Denver. I'll give you that.
I'll tell you what. I bet you Jets Giants is a Sunday night game. That might be a Sunday night or a Monday night game. Think about it. Both teams.
I said maybe Denver. Frank, if Wilson plays good, I see no reason why that wouldn't be a prime time game.
The problem is that they're going to make that schedule now, and I would think based on last year's records, the way that they're picturing these teams playing, I think Jets Giants. Aaron Rodgers. I mean, don't forget Aaron Rodgers and the Packers played the Giants on a primetime game last year. It was a primetime. That was a London game. I wouldn't call those primetime games. But I think that you'll see. I think the Giant-Jet game will be a primetime game, whether it's a Sunday night game or a Monday night game. The Giants. Let's talk a little bit. Giants. They're playing on Monday, 4:30, which is Christmas Day. They're playing the Eagles. I think that's an interesting time, but I think it's a good one. If you're a Christmas person, you get up, you get the kids opening the gifts, you have a nice dinner about 2:30, 3 o'clock, and you slide over onto the couch, and you got primetime Giants Eagles. I think that's a great Christmas game. That's a great Christmas game.
I'll be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of that.
You know why?
I really don't want to watch Philadelphia play.
I agree with you, but if you're a Giant fan,
Philadelphia play, it's a big game for you.
Yeah.
But a game like that, you know what I'd like to? I wouldn't mind seeing Dallas, San Francisco, maybe the Steelers and
Cincinnati.
Steelers, Cincinnati, something like that. But I wouldn't want to watch. I wouldn't want to see Philly. I just don't want to see Philly.
That's fair enough. I got it. I'm not an Eagle fan in any stretch of the imagination, but seeing my Giants on that. And listen, I'll tell you as a Giant fan, I hate primetime games. For me, if every Giant game was Sunday at 1 o'clock, I'd be the happiest guy in the whole world. Because I love my Sunday afternoon 1 o'clock games. I hate the 4:30 game. I don't like Sunday night, and I hate Monday nights now. I want Giant games, all of them, to be on 1:00 on Sunday. It's the best time to watch a football
Wrong with the
game.
4 o'clock game. Why so much hate for the 4 o'clock game,
You know
man?
why? You know why, Jeff? I tell you why. Because it's kind of like right at the end of the night. So you kind of you're the end of the day, and then you're getting into like, oh, I got to go to work tomorrow, and then Tuesday game's over. I'm getting ready to go to work, get my stuff together for work. I hate the 4:30 game. I love the early game.
If you have anything going on other than sitting at home watching TV on a Sunday at 4:30, then that's worse than actually watching the 4:30 game. So I myself don't mind the later game, but then again, I work on Sunday till 2:30. So
Right.
the later game gives me time to go home and watch a little bit of the game.
True. So, but
Okay.
the schedule will be out tonight. Then we'll
The
get
Sunday
to
night game, I'll tell you, I think should start at 7:30.
I agree with that. Same thing about Monday night. I know why they do it. It's for the West Coast, and I get it. But to me, that it's just too late to start. It's just too late to start for me to watch, unless it's my team or a game I'm very interested in. You'll get me for a quarter, maybe the half, and I'm out.
Yeah, because everybody has to get up and go to work. Like I don't remember my parents waking up at fucking 4:30 in the morning to go to work on Monday. I guess because I didn't listen, that this is my punishment. Waking up a lifetime of waking up at 4:30 in the morning to be there for 6.
Yeah.
But it's just that it's once you get involved with something, that's it. It's done. It's over with.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Are the schedules released, guys?
Just released
we
at 8
actually
o'clock
look
tonight.
at
8 o'clock
the
tonight.
schedules?
Yeah, 8 o'clock
Yeah,
tonight.
but it's 8:06.
Yeah, so it's been released, so you can probably get it online. I haven't looked online. What I saw today was basically snippets, stuff that they kind of leaked out. I think now the official schedule's out. I'm sure I can find it, but we'll kind of grab it after and see where everything plays out. But we'll use it for next week's show to we'll go through the schedules for the league. We'll go through the schedules for the teams. I want to get to Paul Stanley's comments on gender. His comments on gender affirming care. I want to get that, and it's caused a big ripple in the music world. So I want to get to that in a minute. Again, you're watching NFL Network. I'll tune over to the NFL Network myself at the moment. The Yankees zone no score, top of the 5th at home against the Rays. I'll switch back and forth, but the schedule release is out. Monday, second.
Can you handle this segment for a few?
Go ahead. I definitely need you on this one, because it's
an emergency.
I'll get it going. Huh?
Emergency board meeting.
Actually, the Jets have 5 primetime games this season, according to the NFL Network. Louis, I don't know if you saw the 6, but there's 5. Jets have 5 primetime games this year. It's got on the screen right now. So I mean, listen, obviously it can backfire. You never know what teams are going to be great. You have a good idea the Chiefs will be a good team and the Bills will be a good team. But at any point, the plug can be pulled on any of these teams, and then you get the surprise teams. The Jags were good last year. There'll be a team that you may want to watch on primetime games. And the bottom line is this. I don't care if it's what team it is. If they're good, I'm going to watch it. If they're bad, I ain't watching it. Jets among 4 teams open for Hard Knocks this season. The Jets, the Bears, the Saints, and the Commanders. The Redskins, as we call them here, are all eligible for that. Okay. That's fine. Yes. But Louis, so I guess they don't consider Black Friday a primetime game. It's a standalone game. I guess that's not prime time. It's 4:30 on a Friday prime time. I guess it's not prime time. 7:00 at night, right? So I guess it isn't a prime time game. But I guess that would be it. So I'm looking for. I didn't see the Giants schedule yet. We'll see how it plays out. The Jets. Let's see how. So it's home versus Buffalo, at Dallas, home versus New England, home versus Kansas City, at Denver. Week 5, Frankie. Week 1 is at Monday Night Football. Kansas City is a Sunday Night Football game at Denver. Home for Philly. They get the bye week at 7. At the Giants after the bye versus the Chargers on Monday Night Football. At the Raiders on Sunday Night Football. The schedule went down. So we'll see Giants open up with the Cowboys week 1. I guess that's September 11th. Jeff, we did just have the Jets schedule up. Then we'll hold it till next week and we'll go through it. But they get
Black Thursday.
Yeah, they get the Sunday night game is one of Sunday night games is the Chargers and one of them is the Raiders. One of them's Monday, one Sunday. Of course, the Black Friday game. The Kansas City game is a Sunday night game. The Bills game, I believe, is a Sunday night game. So a lot of primetime games for your beloved Jets. Jeff, let's switch over. I want to talk a little Paul Stanley, which also will include.
Tom, hold on. Go ahead, start the segment. I had an unexpected visitor come running up the stairs.
Oh, Basil's around, huh?
Really?
Anyway, so it seems like Paul Stanley has got himself in a little bit of a trouble.
Go ahead,
I
Tom.
believe he got out of it a little bit. But in the meantime, it's caused a ripple effect for Ted Nugent and Dee Snider. So the bottom line is this. Paul Stanley had something to say about gender-affirming care. Basically, parents or adults kind of pushing kids to rethink their gender at a young age. So here's what Paul Stanley had to say. My thoughts on what I am seeing. There is a big difference between teaching acceptance and normalizing and even encouraging participation in a lifestyle that confuses young children into questioning their sexual identification. He said that adults may decide reassignment is in their needed choice, but said that children should not be eligible for gender-affirming surgeries and procedures. He said turning this into a game or parents normalizing it as some sort of natural alternative or believing that because a little boy likes to play dress up in his sister's clothes or girls and their brothers, we should lead them steps further down the path that's far from innocence in what they're doing. So let's see. Stanley claimed that too many parents are confusing teaching acceptance and normalizing and encouraging situation that has been a struggle for those affected and turned into a sad and dangerous fad. And I would agree with Paul Stanley. If you, as an adult, decide that you're living a life as a man is wrong because you think you're a woman, that's your decision. You should live your life any way you want. It doesn't affect me. But to me, pushing a kid, normalizing it or allowing a child who's not yet developed any sort of a real image of life to make a decision like that at a young age is completely wrong. And I don't care if it's your kid, somebody else's kid. To me, if you're doing that, you're
of course, because a kid, you could talk a kid into anything.
Yes, 100%.
And even though most normal kids would feel funny if you're trying to convince them that, you're supposed to wear a dress, this, that, and the other thing, they're going to know that maybe, no, this isn't right. This isn't me. You know what I mean? But even in that, if you're pushing it, sooner or later, you're going to break the kid down because it may be what you want and it ruins the kid. It's a fucked up way of thinking. I can't understand why anybody would want to sit there and actually do this to a mind. It's, when you have a kid, and guys, I don't know, please, if you think I'm wrong, please say, but weigh in on this one, please. If you have a kid, it's your job to mold that kid to being a good person, not a confused person. You want them to be confident in the decisions they make. If you have a son and that boy grows up to be gay, so be it. As long as he's not turning around trying to tell you that you should be gay too, what's the difference? And just like you shouldn't tell him that you should be straight. It's just leave them alone. And especially if they're under the age of high school age or even in high school, just leave them the fuck alone, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to say, listen, if you have a high school kid who thinks that he maybe she is living the wrong life and you want to encourage them to explore, I guess, but to be pushing kids towards surgeries and I don't see it. And to me, go as long as you can, get into being an adult where you start to see the real world. And then, if you get into your 20s and you've said, okay, yeah, this is who I am and that's who I want to be, I get it. But at that age, Jeff, you're right. I would tell you my thought process as a middle school kid and as a high school kid, and you were there for a good part of it, I thinking back now, I go, what was I thinking about? And I said, imagine if I had thought to chop the willy off at that point, you'd be going, what was I thinking about? And
listen, there are kids, okay, when you look at them, you could see that there's something's not right.
Right.
There was a chromosome imbalance of some kind, and this boy doesn't exactly look like a boy. He has girlish traits. There are people that are born in between, so to speak.
Right.
You know what I mean? These people, that's a completely different story. But to take somebody that doesn't look like that and just push on them, be like, well, you should try it. Try to be a girl. Think like a girl. Wear this girl's clothing. Play with these girls' toys. It's wrong. It's wrong. Totally wrong.
Yep. So the reason I bring it up also, and this thing is that it become a problem. Yeah, it has. And here's the thing: if I am against it personally, but if you want to do it as an adult, that's your business. But I would, and Paul Stanley's being called transphobic. Like he's got some sort of issue with people who are trans. And what I read there is a guy who just says, let kids be kids and let it play out in their lives. Don't push them toward anything. And that's the way I read it. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think, and here's an example of it, Jeff. So a couple of people, big names. So Ted Nugent and Dee Snider both came out and said, hey, I back up what Paul Stanley says. What he says is 100% right. Now, Dee Snider was scheduled to play, scheduled to sing We're Not Going to Take It at the San Francisco Gay Pride Parade. Right? So he was going there. They want him to play We're Not Going to Take It Anymore. It was kind of like their anthem. He was going to sing it live. He was all over it. And because he agreed with that, they said he portrayed transphobic tendencies and did not allow that. He was against their lifestyle. And he said, I'm not against your lifestyle. I just don't think kids should be pushed into that lifestyle. Let them head there on their own if they're going to have it, but let them have it as they're an adult. And he's basically been asked to not show up now and not be part of it. So where is the tolerance for people who disagree with you? See, that's my problem with the woke culture, Jeff. The Democrat, and I'm gonna say Democrats because that's where it comes from.
It's a huge problem, Tom. It's a huge fucking problem. If you don't agree with me, you're wrong.
Right.
Totally wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. Other people, I don't even say the other side. I'm going to say normal people.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not even going to put a label on it other than normal people. You don't agree with me? Okay, that's your prerogative. You don't have to agree with me. This is my decision. Respect my decision like I have to respect your decision. And if these people realize that their decision is being respected, the way that you want to act and everything else, I don't have to have a label on how I feel. I'm not transphobic. You know what? If you're transsexual, don't try to convince me that I should also be transsexual. And I won't convince you that you should be straight or shouldn't live your life as a trans person. It's none of my business how you live your life.
Correct. 100%.
Maybe you as a trans person actually lives a happier life than I'm leading as a straight person. I don't know. It's none of my business.
I agree. And and here's the thing. If I decide that I don't want to associate with you because you're that way, that's my business. I could care less. As long as you're not flaunting your transgender on me, I could care less. Do what you want, however you want to live it. But I don't have to agree to it. But that does not make me transphobic. I could care less. But you're right. The minute you don't agree with them, you're now some sort of a phobic guy. You're just a racist. You're just and that's the problem. So here's the guy, Dee Snider, who's willing to stand up on a float, drive down the street, sing his song as your anthem, because he's completely out there backing you up and saying, I'm with you. You should be able to live your life. And because he has one disagreement, he's out. Like there is no, tolerance the other way. That's the problem. If I don't buy into what you say 100%, I'm out. I'm a bad human being. And that's the problem with the other side.
Yeah.
And that's why this country has got a big problem.
Well, the country has a big problem for a lot of different reasons. A lot of the reasons that the country has a problem is because everything has to have a label on it. You're either this or you're that. You can't just be you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's the problem. Okay. If you don't like something, if you're not standing up for the black race, then you're against Black Lives Matter.
Yep.
And if you say, but then I'm not against Black Lives Matter, well, then you're racist because you're saying that you're for Black Lives Matter.
Yep.
Okay, I don't understand what the difference is here. It does not bother me what color you are, what you're doing. I don't give a fuck. Well, you're racist for not caring and not giving a fuck. So then, I don't know what to tell you. Just color me racist and leave me the fuck alone. I'll be over there somewhere away from you.
100%. 100%. Yeah. And
there's a guy that I don't want to give out too much information.
Yep.
I know. Okay. I'm not going to say where I know him from and everything else. He swings from more than one vine. Okay.
Okay.
And
he lands on many trees.
Yes. Yeah. Many trees, all made of wood.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Understood.
Okay. So how about this? I know this guy for a few years. You know what we fool around with the most?
What?
We send gay memes back and forth to one another. And I'll send something like really gay to him because I think it's funny, and he'll laugh at it.
Right.
Meanwhile, I know what he likes, and he's like, yeah, I've dated this guy, and that. You know what? That's all great because you don't try to get me to do it.
Right.
I don't care. So we found we could rip on one another with that way. You know what I mean? How you doing, Mike? And
hey,
he knows that it's not a personal attack against him, so he's okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's how we grew up, Jeff.
And also, too, just to add, he doesn't turn around and say to me, well, you don't know what you're missing because you never tried it. He never once even alluded to that. He just knows my wife, everything else. He's cool with it. All right, fine. Very good.
100%. 100%. Hard Rock as well. Jeff and Tom, we're doing a little off the cuff today. But yeah, Jeff, I mean, that's the problem. There's no tolerance from the other side. You're either all in or you're all out. And, again, go live your life. We grew up in an era where didn't matter. I could care less. I would call you retarded. I'd call you a fag. I call you, and it didn't matter. That's just how we.
You think of some of the shit that we said back then? We'd have to watch out in the front of our house.
Yeah, it was just sitting outside. Shut up, you fag. I mean, who cared? I mean, and there were guys in our crowd that we kind of knew, kind of leaned the other direction from us. And it was like, who cares? I could care less what people did. So
you know what? They might have leaned in the wrong direction. I don't think that there's anybody that we hung out with, and maybe you know things about other people that I don't know, that ever dabbled on the other side of the line.
No, there was one in our crowd that did. Well, didn't, but was headed that way.
Yeah, you think?
There's a picture of a guy hanging in the ceiling at
well, he supposedly did cross the line, but he wasn't part of our crowd for very long. He was it was
passing through, but he was around enough that I would say he was part of the crowd. And of course, yes, I am from Rosebank, so is Jeff, and proud of it. And but listen, so the bottom line is this. So Ted Nugent, he obviously backs up Paul Stanley, and they get so incensed in Alabama they actually canceled one of his shows. Dee Snider gets kicked out for basically affirming what Paul Stanley said, but meanwhile was willing to play the Gay Pride Parade, sing his "We Are Not Going to Take It Anymore" as their anthem. You know what? If you want everybody to be tolerant to you, be tolerant for everybody else. And that's the problem.
Is Frank? I'm assuming Frank came from South Beach.
I believe so. Yeah, Frank is a South Beach.
Is he looking to single-handedly resurrect the wars between these two neighborhoods?
Those are the good old days.
We got a 2-on-1. Oh man, I can't say that. 2-on-1. Can't say that.
You be say 2-on-1 at the Tube Steak place.
Oh no.
Hey, on Rocket Sports, Jeff and Tom hanging there Thursday night. Thanks for coming on. We did a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We got a few more things to talk about before 9 o'clock. I'm going to close this down at 9 tonight. I got an early start tomorrow and a lot of stuff to do. But of course, we'll be back next week. And again, please, guys, all of you out there, please celebrate the moms in your life, whether it's your wife or your mom or your mother-in-law, cousins, girlfriends, daughters, whoever it is. Please, please, please. Wish them all a happy Mother's Day from both Jeff and I. And I hope you guys have a great Mother's Day and a great weekend. The weather's been fantastic. So stick around. We got a little more to talk about today. Hey, Jeff, do you know that Pantera actually played their first U.S. concert in 22 years? And I don't think anybody knew it.
I certainly didn't know it.
Yep. Yeah.
I'll tell you something. There's somebody I'm friends with. I believe you're friends with him too. My friend Lou.
Lou
I don't,
Torres, sure.
I don't want to say his last name.
Okay,
Okay.
Lou.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No problem. He posted. He goes to a lot of different shows and everything. I give him a lot of credit. He's still out there.
Oh,
and
yeah,
doing
yeah.
stuff and everything. Good for him.
Yep.
He has been sticking up for Pantera for months now, since the announcement of them getting back together and everything else. And he turns around and he posts this video of them rehearsing the song War Nerve.
Uh-huh.
And Phil Anselmo sounds horrible live. And he says, oh, haters, don't say anything. You can't, I don't want to hear any negative shit, this, that, and the other thing. And you know what? He shut down comments on it. He will not let you comment on it. Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? I don't care, but you're censoring people because you know that they suck and you know that they shouldn't be doing this, but you want to accept it. If you want to accept it, then just go to the show, man. It's okay.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. It's just not right. I'm sorry. It's just not right, man. I would not go for free. I would not go.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I've listened to some stuff. I agree with you. It's not great. I think the novelty is worn off. I don't think you're going to see multiple shows in anytime soon. I think the big question is, how long does this go on?
Adam and Frank saw that show. Tell us what you think. Well, Tommy's saying
I think the big question is how much longer they do it, and do they? And there's been rumors of new music. Now, I have a big problem of putting out new music for this. Going out there and kind of doing a tribute to Pantera, I'm okay with that. But to take this band, and go out there and record music and take it out and put out the next Pantera album, yeah, I can't buy into that one. Going out there and playing some tribute shows and getting.
They're never going to capture. If they record new music, they're never going to capture the feel of Pantera. I don't give a shit what it is. They're not going to capture it. Phil is too old. They're not the Abbott brothers. And Rex looked like he's on crack and he forgot to fall down in a fucking doorway someplace. They're not going to catch it. It's not going to happen.
No, I would agree with you. I don't know what to expect.
And look what these guys are writing, man. 100%. They're that's a shame that you agree with us. That's great. It's a shame that many people. There's 4 people. Nobody wants to hear anything new from this band. Nobody seems to have an interest in what they're doing.
Well, Jeff, it's again, to me, it was a novelty. I mean, again, without Dimebag, it was going to be tough. Without Vinny and Dimebag, it's impossible. Like I said, Anselmo, wasn't even liked by them. For most of the last few years of their lives. And Rex Brown, to be honest with you, I listen to Rex Brown's music. Outside of that, he's horrendous. Let's be honest, it's horrendous.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, to me, there are certain bands that can carry on. We've had this conversation 100 times. There are certain bands that you can carry on, regardless of how many of the original members are there. To me, Pantera, without Dimebag, there is no Pantera. Even with Vinny around, I think you'd have a hard time pulling it off. The guitar sound was different. It was raw. It was just ugliness, and it was great playing. And I think the minute Dimebag was gone, there should be no more Pantera. Could you have pulled it off?
100% right. But you want to know something, dude? If Vinnie Paul was there, he would have put enough backbone into that.
Maybe. I agree.
And they could have carried on, maybe not for a record, but for a tour to put it to sleep.
Right.
Okay? They should have been out. Maybe even if they went on tour, a 20th anniversary tour or something like that, they went on tour for a year. And then at the end of it, they're like, listen, this is it. We're putting it to sleep. That's it. It's done. It's done. We did it in memory of time. It's done. And then that's it.
Yeah, I'm agreeing. I think honestly the same thing should be happening with Van Halen. I think that there should be one round with Alex and David, with Wolfie playing guitar and Michael Anthony back playing bass. You do a round of shows. You kind of a tribute. You put the Eddie posters up there. People see Van Halen tribute for the most part, and you call it a day. The way it ended, I don't think it's enough. But certainly the same thing with what Pantera was. It should have been one sets of shows, with Vinny. Without Vinny, you can't do it. It just
The
can't.
only
do it.
thing that Wolfgang Van Halen should be put on is Jenny Craig. All right. I'll say that much right now. I have zero interest in hearing anything at this point in time from fucking Wolfgang Van Halen.
I agree.
Matter of fact, I'm going to take it one step further.
Go ahead.
If you want to do any kind of Van Halen tribute, okay, what you need to do is get Sammy and Dave,
Yep.
Michael Anthony. You can have his son, bass only.
Okay.
Alex Van Halen, and then you need to get a fucking bevy of guitar players.
I agree.
You can get George Lynch, Warren DeMartini. You could get Nuno. You could get Kirk Hammett. You could get. We could go all day long. Steve Vai.
Yep.
Adrian Vandenberg.
Satriani. Yep.
Satriani. Have them come out. They all come out, play a couple songs, and that's it. Off they go.
I agree.
Want to do that? That's fine.
Yep.
That's
I
fine.
agree.
It's not Van Halen. Van Halen's also, I think, because it's Eddie Van Halen and what he brought to the table, it's more so a blasphemy to have a Van Halen tribute than it is a Dimebag, Pantera tribute without Dimebag.
Well, when you say tribute, I'm saying is if you did that show that you just talked about, did it in 8 cities with different guitar players playing at each one. So say you had 4 different guitar players.
No, not different ones playing in all different cities.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All of them
That's what I was saying. Go ahead.
the same fucking just tour. Okay, when you see Eruption and You Really Got Me, that's going to be George Lynch. Then Ain't Talking About Love, that's going to be Kirk Hammett.
All over the country, 10 shows,
over
20 shows, whatever it is.
All different ones, man. That's how I think.
And again, I'm with you. I said that from the beginning, and for some reason, David Lee Roth seems to be the guy who's putting the kibosh to this, and I can't figure out why he would put the kibosh to this whole thing. But he seems to be the guy holding it back.
He realizes that he can't sing.
You know what? Fine. Then step out of the way. I think let Sammy. Again, I'm not a fan of the Sammy era, but let Sammy go out and sing the songs and put the play out there and see what. To me, you need Dave, but he ain't singing well anyway. What's the difference?
Do you really want to see Sammy?
No.
Go out there and sing these songs.
I saw Van Halen with Sammy, and it's one of the worst shows I've ever been to. Motley Crue loudness was better than seeing Van Halen.
I went to Monsters of Rock and left in the middle of it. Not even in the middle of Van Halen set. I even make the middle of the set. I'm like, let's go. I can't stand listening to this guy right now.
Yeah. I was a Sammy fan growing up. I liked Sammy's solo stuff.
His solo stuff is another story.
Right.
I don't want to hear Sammy Davis Jr. I don't want to hear Sammy Hagar singing Ain't Talking About Love or Somebody Get Me a Doctor. I just don't want to hear it.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Believe me, I've seen it live. It was no fun. It was not good. He does not do a good representation of that music. And I saw it I guess would be their heyday in the mid 90s. And it was terrible. Eddie was terrible. He was terrible. I got to see Eddie Van Halen live, so it's great. And I saw Coliseum. It was just one of the worst shows I've ever seen in my entire life. And I'm glad I got to see Eddie Van Halen live. I saw him solo. He was great, and all that. But it was terrible. But this whole Pantera thing, I think I would be shocked if there was a second round. I mean, is Charlie Benanti and Zakk Wylde and all that going to trudge it out again and write new music? And is anybody going to care? You're a huge Pantera fan and you have no interest in it.
No.
Who is buying and listening to that? Is Lou going to buy that? I don't know. I can't. Yeah, maybe he might. He likes all the new Iron Maiden stuff. He's really he's over the top.
A little bit.
So again, Hard Rock and Sports, Jeff and Tom. We're at 8:35. We got about 25 minutes left of tonight's show. We're counting down the minutes. Again, we'll be back next week for the 19th. The 26th, the show will be on hiatus, as I am on hiatus. Frankie, I know Frankie don't care. Frankie's a big metalhead. Frankie, you going to the Last Kiss shows? I'm debating it. I want to go see the Last Kiss show. Are you going? Do you have tickets yet?
See, I got to be. I've seen Frankie's Facebook posts about wanting to go see Kiss and everything, and it's guys like Frank that I feel bad for. The fans of some of these bands and he wants to go to these shows, but the
Yep.
price of the tickets are astronomical.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
horrendous.
average guy just like it's not that they can't afford the ticket. It's like,
Yeah.
do you really want to spend $200-300 on a ticket plus or more for a ticket for a show that you got to hope maybe Kiss puts it out on DVD. I know the feeling. I had to do that with Black Sabbath.
Yeah, I'm gonna check to see. I'm on StubHub. I'm gonna see the secondary market. I want to see what the prices of Kiss tickets are. Let's see. I'm just curious. The last shows, December. Okay, so the last show, there's still tickets available. So let's see. Continue two tickets. Wow. Section 301, which is up in the nosebleeds, are $319 each.
When you say 300 section nosebleeds for who?
That's Madison Square Garden, yeah, up in the nosebleeds, and in the old blue seats, I guess. The very rafters are 321, 330, 340. Section 301, row row B S3, $414. Yeah, I guess at some point I'm gonna have to make that happen. Let's see. Wow, section 110, Jeff. Section 110, which is behind.
I'm going to say 15.
Hold on, it's behind the stage on an angle. Okay. 2 tickets seated together, each ticket.
2,500. More. 5,000.
No, too high. $3,300 a seat.
So $6,600
to sit on an angle behind the stage.
Wow.
Yeah. Now I will look. Let's see. Now, surprisingly, there are section B, row 15, which is directly center stage, $1,600 each, $1,800 each, $2,200 each.
But you know what, Frank? It's all cool.
Wow.
You're going because you like the band, and maybe you would be okay with sitting in those seats because that's where you first saw them. But you want to know something? You're one of these guys that's been a fan of Kids for 40, 50 years, whatever it is. You shouldn't get the right to sit up front and see them. They put the tickets just out of grasp. That's insane.
If you want to sit front row, center front row, $10,800 for a seat.
First row, $10,800.
Section row, section B, directly in front of the stage, row 1, $10,800 for a seat.
Fuck that. I like Adam there. There you go. Would hope for the DVD.
Frankie, I went to my first concert in 1979, Kiss Dynasty Tour. I saw the last tour, and I'll see that this was the last tour when I went with Jeff to the Garden, and we saw them, and it was a great show. I will try my best to go to this. I can't justify, Jeff, in my own brain, spending over $300 a seat. Now, I probably will go for $300. I don't think I go for more than that. If it creeps into more, I would tell you I'm out.
You know what, Tom? I got to be honest with you.
Go ahead.
Be honest with you, okay? If it was a show that I would really want to go see, a band that I really want to see,
yep,
okay, and I knew it was their last show, I personally, I think that I would go, if I was just going myself,
yep,
I think I would go $350 a ticket.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Would be the highest I go, but I would have to know that this is the last time that I'm going to see this show.
Well, that's
band, and they're not playing another show. See, like Frankie right there, 400. But you know what? Unfortunately, Frank, where the fuck are you sitting out in the parking lot for that?
Yeah, I have to tell you,
that's sad. It's sad.
I'm looking. I'm looking. You're in the nosebleeds. Section 213, which is 2 levels up from the floor, side stage is $342.
Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking side of the stage. You're not seeing Gene. You know, like you're getting the side view of Gene. You're getting side boobage on Gene at this point. Yeah, I mean, section 213 front row, $1,100. Section 213 front row, $1,500 a seat. Yeah, again, I'm gonna try to go to the show only because it's the last. It better be the last Kiss show because if I ever went and they came back, I think I might shoot them.
Let me ask you something.
Uh,
Right now, I tell you, I could get you a ticket,
Yep.
$1,000. That includes a meet and greet and first level. But I need the money right now. Would you give me the money?
Yeah, I think I might. I might.
Yes, you would take that?
I would think about it. I have to tell you, because that I nearly pulled the trigger on that when we went to see Sabbath together. I was this close.
Oh,
I was this close. And I wish every day after I regretted not doing it. And when I went back to try to do it, it was too late. So yeah, I would tell you.
Sign that meant that you weren't supposed to do it.
Huh? Yeah.
It meant you weren't supposed to do it, man. It's okay.
I got it, but yeah, I regretted it every day after that. It was closed up that I couldn't go back and get those seats and the tickets. So it was a meet and greet with the band, and then a 15, 20-minute session with Ozzy. It was all the whole wrapped up in one. It was just, had it been a month later, I would have did it. It was just financial time at the time. But again, I got to see Sabbath. We celebrated your 50th together, and that was it was a great experience.
Definitely one of the better concerts I went to, because, listen, we've gone to concerts with other people.
Yep.
You remember them, I don't. But we got to hang out this one.
Yes.
And,
Yep.
it was a lot of fun, and
Absolutely.
I appreciate it, man. And believe me, it was great to be there, that we got to go together. So
Absolutely. Yep. Jeff got one of my first concerts as a kid was going to see Motley Crue and Loudness with Jeff, and we got to go as adults. We saw Kiss together. We saw Sabbath together. So we've got to do a lot of stuff together over 40 years. So that's all.
The first concert we went to, that was the best part.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking that I brought all of this stuff, or had all of this stuff with me to get signed.
Uh-huh.
And I thought like that we were going to meet these guys and shit. And I had like all this stuff to take. I don't remember if I took it or not.
I don't remember you carrying it through the city. I can't say that I remember it though. I can't. I do. I remember going.
The fifth wait, are they really? Is he for real?
I did. Louis would never lie.
Are they playing still?
I guess so.
The Fifth Dimension, man. Holy shit. I remember them being old when I was a kid.
Lou, you dating yourself there, Lou. You're definitely dating yourself on this one.
Is that who was in the Fifth Dimension? That Marilyn Davis or Billy Davis and Marilyn McCoo, were they in the Fifth Dimension?
Hold on, I'm going to tell you in a second. I'm about to look them up. The Fifth Dimension. Let's see if we can get a Wikipedia. Here's the Wikipedia.
Wow, good for you, then, man.
Members of the actually, yeah. So the current ones are Florence LaRue, Patrice Morris, Leonard Tucker, Floyd Smith, and Sidney Jacobs. Past members: Billy Davis Jr., Phyllis Battle, Lamonte McLemore, Ronald Townsend, Greg Walker, and Marilyn McCoo.
Wow.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So the Fifth Dimension is still out there in the 70th dimension. At this point, I would say the 5 original members were Lamonte McLemore, Marilyn McCoo, Florence LaRue, who I guess is still a member of the band, Ronald Townsend, who is not anymore, and Billy Davis Jr.
Marilyn McCoo is 79 years old.
Wow.
Well, Billy Davis Jr. is 84. God damn.
Wow. Some of the good.
Let the Sunshine In was their I remember that song.
Oh, yes, sure, absolutely. Yeah. So Lou's going down to see Florence LaRue and Patrice Morris. I'll tell you this, they're so not the only person currently in the band who has a Wikipedia page is Florence LaRue. The rest of them don't even have Wikipedia pages.
Yes, Adam Hines, yes. Marilyn McCoo was on Solid Gold. Holy shit.
Yes.
Oh,
wow. Good call, Adam. Good
not
call.
a roomie here, but Adam's fucking old, man.
Oh,
yes,
my God.
Louis. Oh my God. I'm not gonna have to look these songs up when we get out of here and put them on the phone now.
Let's see. Hold on. Let me see if I get some of the bigger hits. Wow. Wait a second. Wow. I only want to tell you, there has got to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. 28 different people have been in the Fifth Dimension.
Are there any original members of the Fifth Dimension in the Fifth Dimension?
Florence LaRue is the only one left who's
Jeez.
an original member.
How old is she? Does it say?
Florence LaRue. Let's see. 1940. She is 81 years old.
Oh my God.
Florence LaRue is the only active member in the band, the original member. I don't know if she's been there all the way through. There's too many ins and outs. Yeah, holy cow. Let's see. So their discography, The Magic Garden. Let's see if they have songs here. Any hit songs?
Well, you don't have to be a star. I believe that's from them. And This is the Age of Aquarius. I remember that one.
Yep. And they're not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, just to be.
It's too many members.
Yeah, who would get in?
Well, you would have to get their own wing.
I would say yes. Boy, this is some ins and outs and who's here. And this is, oh my God. Lou, either way, enjoy the Fifth Dimension. Yeah, quite the stunning band back in 1969. They've been active, also known as the Versatiles, from 65 to 66. They've been active since 66. Until say, they from 66 to 75 was the original band, and then it's been a whole host of characters since. So just to bring you up on the Fifth Dimension, you never know where we're going on this one. Up and Away, My Beautiful.
Oh shit! My Beautiful Balloon, Up and Away, My Beautiful Balloon. Yeah, that's right.
Frankie right. Popping them out. Everybody's got the Fifth Dimension songs off the top of their head. So Louis going down to AC to see that. Good for you, Lou. I want to bring up one more topic, maybe two, before we call it a day. You know that Cam Newton says, Jeff, he thinks he's out of the league because of his hair. He says that the reason he believes he's not in the NFL today is because he has long hair, and he wanted to remind everybody that Trevor Lawrence has long hair. And I said, it could be the fact that you're a neurotic, insane, overpriced, overhyped, used to be somebody, might have been football player.
Isn't he like 35 at this point in time?
I have no idea, but he thinks he's out of football because he has long hair.
I have a feeling he's out of football because he sucks.
I think he's out of football because he's fucking absolutely insane and wants to blow up every locker room he's been in. But you're right. I think he is insane. So I just thought I'd pass that on. That he's putting it on the fact that he's got long hair. So just to let you know, when he's not starting next year, maybe if he cuts his hair, Jeff, he get a gig. I don't know. Yes, you're absolutely right. Von Miller did knock him out of the league. So last topic, Jeff. I know it's going to be a little off the wall, so it's hard for me, but I have to do this one. So I don't know how much you pay attention to the politics ends of things, but it seems like RFK Jr. will be running for president of the United States in a couple of years. And
yes, I saw that.
Okay, so RFK, amongst believing in UFOs and some of that stuff.
Although he's definitely a more solid choice than what we have in there right now.
Jeff, your shoes would be a more solid choice than the guy in there right now. Your shoes would definitely be a better president than the old man creeping through the halls of the White House today. Anyway, the reason I bring up RFK Jr., obviously the family history, he has a theory on who killed his very famous president uncle. And he thinks that it was a plot by the CIA to kill JFK. Now, listen, there's many theories. I myself, Jeff, I do not believe in the lone gunman theory. I do not believe in it. I believe that multiple people were involved. I think it's impossible to have pulled that off. And everything goes with it. I do not know who actually planned it. Was the mafia involved? Was Cuba involved? CIA, FBI? I have no idea. I know it wasn't one guy, with a bolt action rifle in a book depository who killed John F. Kennedy that day. Yourself, do you believe in any of these theories? How do you have an issue? What is your issue with this conspiracy theory?
I don't know. I find it hard to believe with what they told us, the little that I know about firearms and guns, a bolt action rifled 3 shots in like 4 seconds, and
And the first one is the worst one, and meanwhile, the first one should be the best one, right? You would think.
yeah, I don't know.
Aiming, yeah.
I got a feeling that it might have been a whole vast array of people, because
I
there's
agree.
a lot of people that had reason to go in that direction. The mob, the CIA, the government, Maryland, everybody had a reason for it. So, you know what I mean?
I agree. I'm not a huge fan of RFK and some of the things he stands for. I like his the guy's got his own mind. I mean, and the fact that he would say that out loud, that he thinks the CIA killed his uncle, tells me maybe he's a little off kilter, which is okay. I mean, but
Let me ask you something: Is he really off kilter because nobody proved that it wasn't the CIA?
nobody's proved who it is, let alone that who it's not.
So there was a reason why he went. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Again, listen. Somebody didn't like him. Somebody had him killed. I don't believe it was Lee Harvey Oswald. I think Lee Harvey Oswald was a patsy. I think he was in the planning of it. I think he's both part of the conspiracy. I do not believe he acted alone. I think Lee Harvey Oswald was silenced and was a member of the CIA. The guy was, in the middle of the communist scare of that era. He was allowed to leave this country, go defect to Russia, and get back in a couple years later. No big deal. I think he was a spy going there, a spy coming back. I think his ace is the name, notoriety. The name. Yeah. Listen. I think at this point, if you're a Democrat and you hate Republicans, and especially if you hate Donald Trump, you will vote for a banana if they declare themselves a Democrat. And I think that's basically what you're going to see.
Adam Hines, the Kennedy name holds clout, yeah, but it's old clout.
Yeah, not anymore. You're right.
I think it's an old way of thinking, and I don't think that it's going to be very successful. It may get the Democratic nomination, but think of how many Kennedys since JFK and RFK, when they both got capped, never made it that far. And you're talking Teddy Kennedy, his son, JFK's son, and now this guy here. I don't see it. And then how many others that were just there was a few others that died too young, no?
Yeah, well, they've had all sorts of tragedy in that family, cousins and different people.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Others that could have stood a chance.
Sure.
I just don't think that I don't think they were allowed to stand a chance.
Yeah.
That's way of saying it.
I got you. It's a pretty nice way of saying it. So, but yeah, listen, it's too early for me. I don't care if the Republicans trot out a bunny rabbit. I will vote for any Republican that ain't a Democrat. I really don't care. I will never vote Democrat again.
Look at the age of the Republican challenger. You're talking 2 men that may go head to head on election day 2024 with a combined age of 160 or 180, whatever, 160 years old.
Yep.
That's combined age, 160 years old.
Yep.
This is what they're giving us to vote. Are you serious?
I couldn't agree with you more.
Bring back MTV Deathmatch and fucking throw them in the ring and let them hammer it out with each other while we get some fucking normal age fucking people.
I think a Fijian strap match would be the way I would handle it.
Trump coherent today, but he's right at the cusp. You don't know what tomorrow brings. He may be eating pudding, staring into the sun all day.
I listen. I'm a huge Trump fan, and I would vote for him again if that was my choice. I would prefer if it was DeSantis. To be honest with you, there's a couple other guys I'd love to see. Tim Scott run. I think Tim Scott's a great candidate, but I would love to see DeSantis at this point. If you're giving me Asa Hutchinson and some of the other people that are out there, Chris Christie, give me Ron DeSantis at this point.
Chris Christie said something very stupid.
He always does.
Extremely dumb. And I can't remember exactly what it is, so I'm not even going to try to say it. And when he said it, I'm not a Trump guy. I hate Trump.
I know. I
don't like him. I would like to see DeSantis or somebody else get in there without a doubt. But Chris Christie said something so stupid today that, I just hope that this guy doesn't even think about running, because
I agree.
He sabotaged his chances with making the traffic jam that time. He completely fucked himself.
Correct. 100%. Yep.
He should have disappeared for 10 years, came back and tried again.
I agree. Yeah. I'm not a fan. To be honest, going into 2016, I was pulling for Christie because I didn't like Trump either, to be honest with you. But Christie let me down. I was happy he got involved with Trump and Trump won. I would like to have seen him part of the thing, but I think at the end of the day, he's part of the same bureaucracy as what's in the swamp right now. Again, like I said, I would if I'm picking in the primary, it's going to be DeSantis. If come November 24, Trump, Biden, which I hope it's not, but if it's Trump, Biden, I'm voting for Trump. I refuse to vote for Biden. If everybody sees what you're dealing with right now, you got
I don't know
to
how anybody could vote for him.
Yeah, it's just
Really
it's so, and if you think that your vote don't matter, look what happened. Look what we got. We got 4 years of this complete. First off, the guy's a complete criminal, his whole entire family. And on top of it, he's completely incoherent. And the fact that, Jeff, that he's acted this way and they're even trotting him out there is, to me, it's we're going to win the election and then he's going to fade off into the sunset and somebody else will be president for 4 years.
Listen, we danced to that song 2.5, 3 years ago, and look where we are. Okay, he's entering year 3.
Yep.
So please, I'm saying weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah. That's what you're going to get. They're going to drag him out there. They're going to get him elected, and then he's going to fade off to the sunset. And we're going to wind up with Kamala Harris or some other moron.
She ain't getting in.
No, but she's going to be his. She's going to be his running mate.
She's going to be his running mate, but she's inconsequential.
I agree with you, but when they get him, if they get him elected and they can bounce him out, she steps in as president because she's vice president. And we get 4 years of President Kamala Harris, and nobody wants that.
We thought that we were going to get 2 years of President Kamala Harris, and hasn't happened yet.
Yeah,
I think they worry about her getting in.
Oh, I agree. I don't think anybody wants her to get in. I don't think anybody wants any of that, but we'll see. We'll see. It's going to be an interesting 2024 with the races and debates. And like I said, for me, give me my boy Ron DeSantis of Florida, and let's do this and get somebody in there, a little fresh blood, like Adam said. So we'll see how it plays out. But that's it for tonight, guys. I'm gonna call it a wrap right here. Does Jeff's got anything? I know not a lot of shows coming up, right, Jeff? Just the food truck, June.
Just the food truck festival coming up. Just what I need to play a food truck festival. So I ain't fat enough.
Well, listen, you'll one of these days you'll wake up and you'll make the change in your life. But
I'll be dead.
Don't say that. It's possible.
I don't plan on it, but I'm just being honest.
I gotcha. I listen. The same thoughts, and that's why 4 months ago I said that's it and did what I needed to do. But either way, guys, there's a lot going on. Remember this Saturday night at Mother Pugs, the big show. Let's see if I still got it up on my screen here. And let's see. Hold on a second. We got the Slob Drop and Street Trash on tour from New Hampshire. I think it is Raw Nerve and JGB. That's right. JGB's first show this Saturday night, 7:00 at Mother Pugs. We all know it as in Staten Island. So if you're around, it's let's see. The stage.
Who are you promoting the show for?
It's a friend's son who's playing, and he asked me if I would promote it.
Nice.
So I said I would do that. So, by the way, if you guys are out and about on Saturday night and you want to make it over to Mother Pugs, it's $10 at the door, 21 and over. You know where Mother Pugs is over on Forest Avenue. So take a ride over and spend a little time. It's basically a punk show. So if you're into the punk scene, by all means, stop over there this Saturday night, May the 13th, and check them out. You won't be disappointed. Lots of great musicians that night, and go see the JGB band open up play their very first show. So, having said all of that, we will be back. Good night, Frankie Catalano. Thank you for stopping by. Adam Hines, thanks for my brother. Love having you guys. Big Lou, if you're still out there, thank you for stopping by. A lot of fun to do this, Jeff, when everybody's watching us.
Yeah, Adam Hines, thank you for coming, man. Spending another Thursday night with us.
That's it. We'll be back next week to do
We
it
gotta
again.
have Adam on live one night, man. We have.
He has carte blanche. He could sit in on any show he wants and hang with us the whole time if he wants. Absolutely, love to have him, Frankie, any of them. It's a blast, and we'll have a few laughs. What are you gonna? So Jeff, the wife's away. What are you doing all weekend? You're sitting around?
No, I'll be laying
Around.
Yeah,
You
big
and-
difference.
You and Basil hanging and banging and all that good stuff. That's good to hear.
No banging, but we're
Not in that sense. All right, Adam. We'll set you up. Probably we'll do one in June. Next week is our last show of the month, and then I'm taking the 26th off. But come out in June 1st, the first Thursday in June. We'll have Adam on. He'll sit in the show with us and be part of our extravaganza. Oh, wait! Before we go, I got something to play.
Oh, okay.
I forgot all about that. So we all have to know that our dear buddy and my cousin through marriage, the half man, left us, and there were a lot of unanswered questions, Jeff. Lots of unanswered questions.
There has been, yes.
So Jeff has reached out to the half man on the other side. Jeff has that ability, correct? Am I right, Jeff?
Yes, I did not even use a Ouija board. Turns out that if you go to the App Store on Apple, there are apps, and we can get in touch with the half man now.
Well, let's play a little something.
I've opened a portal to hell.
Yes, he rubbed a couple of gin bottles together, and it opened up the doors to the afterlife. And this is what came out of it, folks. And I'll be surprised if we're on the air ever again after this.
So, let me let you in about a few things that I never got a chance to call up about. One, Derek Carr. I am glad to see Derek Carr go. Who do I get in return? Jimmy Garoppolo. Thank God. Thank God I'm up here. I say you that much. Okay? I've been trying to get up into the big office so I could ask what exactly is going on and when may they win again. I just don't know. Even up here, God hates the Raiders. It just happens. Jimmy G, are you fucking kidding me? Good God.
So, Jeff, I also had sent some questions that I thought you'd like to maybe ask for me. Dom is related to me through marriage, and you were kind enough to at least ask one or two of those questions. Can I play that for you tonight?
Go ahead, man. It's Dom's answers.
All right, hold on.
So, you wanted to know if there was a light and if it was a Bud Light. Well, let me tell you this. There was a light. And when I got there, the person handed it to me had a great big pink torch, if you know what I'm saying.
So it seems like Dom is being harassed out in the afterlife, Jeff. It's just
He didn't land well, did he?
it never ends for the little guy. It just never ends for the little guy.
I got a feeling we're going to be hearing from him quite frequently.
Well, I'd say based on the work you did to make it happen, we should see it. And I thought your idea of him still doing the Raider Report each week might be a fun segment for the show.
I got to admit, you know what? It's not the same without the half man. He brought a certain element in knowing when even though he wasn't on for weeks and months of the clip, it was always fun to know that, oh, wait a minute, I'm getting a phone call.
And he's 2 or 3 bottles in.
Condition he was in when you picked up.
Yes. It was a crapshoot, but he didn't even answer the phone on the other end. So yes,
Sometimes he did, sometimes he didn't.
yes. So Jeff was able to conjure up the spirit world and find the half man, and it's not necessarily going so well for him so far over there, Jeff. And hopefully we'll be allowed to do the show again next week. We may get some more sightings and visits from the half man if we don't get tossed off or have our houses set on fire.
Yeah, listen, man, it's a shame. You think about it, the poor half man, still feel bad for his son.
Well, we'll certainly going to see what happens. But again, we're going to end the show right here. Thanks for all the hard work. Thanks to the half man, and we miss you, Dom. Thanks to Frank Catalano, Adam Hines, Lou Pica, everybody, my dad, everybody who checked in tonight, everybody who watches along the way. Appreciate everybody who follows us online and all the people who support us. The guys from Hemp Wizard, RFO Records, Talking to Fast Lane, Sam Bone, JG Osteo, everybody. Thank you guys so much for supporting us each week. And thank you, Adam, and everybody else. So, again, one more time from Jeff and myself to all the moms out there, happy Mother's Day. I hope everybody gets to enjoy their weekend and a beautiful Sunday. And make sure you come on back next Thursday when Jeff and I do this all over again. So, for Jeff Tomlinski, myself, and everybody here at Hard Rock and Sports, I say good night. Have a great night, a great weekend, and a great week. We'll see you back here next Thursday night, 7 o'clock, Hard Rock and Sports. Hefe, I'll talk to you off the air.
Later, man. Be good.
Later, man. Take care.